What's up guys, welcome to Munchkins Gaming, where we take your gaming to the next level. This is Munchkins logging in to bring you another Dissidia Final Fantasy Opera Omnia video, and welcome back to another video guide. In today's video is going to be on Act 3, Chapter 2, Part 2's Lufenia fight. This is going to teach you how to cheese this fight. Honestly, this is probably one of the easiest Lufenia to do, and probably the easiest Lufenia to actually get around it. So before we do go on with that, like and subscribe the video if you haven't already, because it does help the channel and I would really appreciate it if you do. Now without further ado, let's talk about how you're gonna cheese this fight. So there's a few things you need. First of all, you need Yuffie, which is actually pretty easy to get because she's just part of the story. I do believe she is in Act 1 Chapter 2 if I'm not wrong. She's pretty easy to get, and all you really need is a healer as well as a disabler. And what I mean by disabler is someone who can use paralyze or other disabling ability like HP silence, because the enemy boss likes to use HP attacks, so having an HP silencer is going to be something that you want to bring along. So things like maybe Kefka, we recently got Arciela who can do that as well. There are some other characters, but they can be a little bit inconsistent, like using Cloud to paralyze. I mean, even Mog can do it to a certain extent with the Confuse. So things like that are probably, the characters that you want to bring. But I feel like Kefka or Arciela is probably the best ones out there because one, Arciela fills in the healer role as well as the disabler, and you can just use the ability and you are 100% able to apply those debuffs, unlike someone like Cloud. Like I said, can be a little bit inconsistent unless you use his skill 2 first or something along those lines. And Mog is just a little bit you might have to have a little bit of luck. Let's just put it that way. So the next thing you need to do is make sure your Yuffie can actually survive the first wave of HP attacks, because there's nothing you really can do to avoid this. So even if you have to invest on like HP artifacts, artifact passives, just do so. If your Yuffie isn't built up, make sure you get all the summon boards for her to make sure her survivability goes up. There's just small things like that, and even investing on the armor, which doesn't really take too much investment really. Next is to actually use Yuffie's skill 2. So basically when you get attacked, Yuffie gets damaged, you get the debuff that reduces the your HP. Basically it's like a HP poison debuff, and Yuffie can throw that back to the boss. Now it would be really great if you actually have Yuffie's 35 CP weapon at the very least, and I do believe it increases the amount of time that the timer for the amount of turns for the debuff that she throws back. So honestly, the boss, you only need like 3 boss turns after you chuck that debuff, and basically the boss will die on your next HP attack. So that's all you really need here, and just keep using this disabling abilities like I said, and of course you have to heal through. It's just so you can get the HP requirement, right? And yeah, finally you basically kill the boss. This is how you are going to cheese this fight. Now let's take a look at this in practice. and that's basically how you pull this off, guys. So yeah, that is pretty much the end of this video, but I think I should still give you guys my final thoughts on this fight. I still like vehemently believe that you should use this strategy because it's so easy to pull off. Yuffie is easy access. You can, you don't need any of her like weapons, and the disabler is probably the most trickiest thing here, but we have access to Kefka's Lost Chapter, which you can grab, and you only need his like skill 1, so it's not that hard to really pull this off. And the healer can be obviously, be anyone you really want, as long as they can heal you. All you really have to do is survive that first HP attack, that first wave of HP attack. That's all you really need to focus on, and then you should be able to pull this off relatively easy. So yeah, if you do plan to just do it the proper way, well, by all means, kudos to you for actually doing this properly. I myself tried it once and I got pretty close. I got to like 2%, I think, and it would have been easy for me to adjust a little bit. I was just like, because I did this before I actually tried it the proper way, and I was like, yeah, I think this is actually a better way to do this fight. So if I adjusted a few things, I would definitely have cleared using, I think I used Mog, Amiditalion, and Terra. Yeah, I think I used those 3. And I think if I adjusted a little bit when it comes to turn deletion, I would have been able to pull it off. But I think if you can just cheese this fight and get the resources, I think you should go for it. Anyway, guys, that is it for this video. Please remember to click like and subscribe if you haven't already. It does help the channel, and I would really appreciate it. Leave down in the comments below if you did cheese this fight or you did it a proper way. Let me know down there. If you did it the proper way, let me know your team as well. And I guess I never really said what I think about the fight. I think it's probably the easiest fight because you can cheese it this way. So anyway, guys, that is it. This is Munchkins logging off. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next level.